Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What up, y'all? It's your boy Infamous, but you call me Infamous. Welcome back. I finally got a little time to review the first three Bad Boys movies before I review the fourth one. The fourth one that just came out, I know I'm a little late to the game, but that deserves a separate video on itself. Alright, like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Jimmy Allen, DeviantArt. The links to everything is down below. The first movie started in the middle of the night. There was this French gangster that was planning to rob the police station for some heroin. The heroin, the amount of heroin that the cops had in Miami PD, that was enough to basically, sell around the world maybe. And pretty much that was his plan, to take the dope and pretty much sell it off to some other. And his plan to do that is by shooting a fake cop, because they know if they shoot a cop, that would draw all the police force attention, which will leave the precinct unattended. So that would give a proper opportunity for them to pretty much rob the place. They pretty much snuck in, took the dope, and pretty much left nothing out there. There was nothing left. Then we got introduced to Marcus and Mike. Mike is this rich dude who drives really fancy cars. He's kind of a ladies' man. And then we got Marcus. Marcus is a family man. He has 3 kids, a wife. He's kind of struggling with his wife a little bit. He haven't had his needs met in a little while. So pretty much they were driving and arguing for a little while. Then some thugs try to jack the car, and they pretty much whooped his butt. Then we actually see his whole family situation. And his family situation is pretty nice. It's pretty cool. Then we got introduced to Captain Howard. Captain Howard is their boss, and pretty much told him to get down to the station right now, because that they realized that the heroin was stolen, and they really the police station is really is gonna be in deep trouble if they don't find the dope. So pretty much they had to go out there, do what they do, but only faster. The bad boys were on the case. They were hitting up one of their informant guys that used to sell drugs and cut it and stuff. Then they went to this gym that was owned by this chick that also knew Mike, and pretty much Mike asked her to keep a lookout and all that stuff. Pretty much the whole thing led to an investigation at someone's house, and pretty much they went inside, they found a dead body, and they called it in. Then we were introduced to Mike's little love interest. Her name is Max. She's this entertainer, and her roommate Julie, who is an out-of-work photographer that's been crashing at her place. Max pretty much got a little gig at this little mansion place, and the guy that's hosting it is kind of a part of the whole the French guy stealing dope from the police station guy. He's kind of a part of their little operation in the first place. Pretty much they were talking about their relationship. Max was talking about their relationship with Julie, and how it's if she's in trouble, he will always call him. They made it there, and pretty much they were having a little drink. Julie kind of went up to the bathroom to freshen up a little bit, and the French gangster dude showed up and pretty much killed Max and the former cop. French guy noticed that Julie was watching this whole time and ordered his goons to go get her. She managed to make it out. Bad boys pretty much showed up after the fact, and Marcus and Mike kind of found her body, and Mike was really pissed off and really mad because he's gonna find whoever did this, and he's gonna make him pay. Later on at the police station, Captain Howard kind of got a call from Julie, pretty much telling him that she saw the whole thing and saw the guy's face. Mark wasn't nowhere to be found, so pretty much Captain Howard kind of had Marcus pretend to be Mike, and pretty much told him that, hey, we need the witness, and we need her in protective custody. So pretty much Marcus went and go get her. She was a little skeptical because again, they were kind of confused on identities. The goons showed up, pretty much shoot up Julie's place. They managed to make it out, and pretty much Marcus had dropped her off. Alright, time to speed things up. Pretty much Captain Howard kind of ordered Mike and Marcus to pretty much pretend to be each other, live each other's lives for a little while, at least long enough for Julie to come up with a witness. They found the guy. Julie tried to kill him, but that kind of backfired. There was a little epic chase scene. Marcus's wife is not really happy with this. By the way, her name is Teresa, and she got a little angry or something. And again, there was a little argument that was going on between them. Then Julie kind of got kidnapped by the French guy, and pretty much the French guy was about to kill her in 4 hours. And Captain Howard kind of pulled some strings to get SWAT team, calling all cars, and pretty much there was like a drug deal that was going down, and pretty much like the bad boys like shut it down, man. They went in guns blazing and just like blasting if they had to. They managed to rescue Joey, and that was the end of the movie. Alright, it all started like in a factory scene where like this, I don't know, like in this factory they were making ecstasy, and what was it? There was this drug smuggler dude named Johnny, he's like a leader of like some sort of like Cuban drug smuggling game that kind of like been like, you know, smuggling drugs like from Cuba all the way to Miami. The way they sneak him in is by like hiding like the ecstasy inside the casket, pretty much like dumping them like in the water, and pretty much like getting like their boys to like drag it like all the way up here. Keep in mind, this is like early like post 9/11. Meanwhile, the bad boys were like doing like a little drug bust. There was like this little KKK little rally thing where like about to like drop some ecstasy. They kind of had like a lead on that. Anywho, things kind of went sideways because their signal was being jammed, and we got like a little epic shootout with Mike and Marcus like shooting out the KKK, like blam blam blam, taking out the KKK. It was kind of funny. Marcus also got shot in the butt. They found like the ecstasy that came from like the Cuban guys. It was only like 2 bags of it. They were hoping for like a large load of it. Cam Howard kind of like ordered them to like take therapy. Like Marcus is like having a little problem with his anger issues. But then there was like a little thing they called like wuxia, whatever, or something that they learned from the therapist. And Mike was kind of banging his therapist. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of funny. Next thing you know, we get a little like family little barbecue at Marcus's place with his family. His sister Sid, who's kind of like a DA or I don't know, district attorney stuff that just pushed papers, is just like here to like visit the family. Like she was talking to Teresa, then Mike kind of showed up, and it turns out like Mike and Sid kind of like were seeing this show this whole time, and Marcus doesn't even know about it. Marcus kind of like told his dog to fetch, and he kind of like accidentally bring the pool like down, like dragging like him like all the way into the water. Mike told him like, yo, get dressed, get suited up, because hey, we got like a lead about like some sort of like Haitian drug smuggle thing going on. Turns out Sid is kind of like, I don't know, kind of like doing like some undercover work that Marcus doesn't know about, like for the mob, and she pretty much was like shrinking, like, you know, like turning big bills into little bills and like having them like transferred into like some sort of case. Pretty much like the whole feds were like watching the whole thing happening, and pretty much things went sideways with the Haitians kind of like, you know, like taking over and try to like jack the truck and the money. Marcus accidentally shoot Mike's car, like shot the whole dashboard up like accidentally. It was kind of funny. Marcus was kind of like a little pissed off and a little angry at Sid, like how come she didn't tell him. Pretty much, she told him the whole thing, how she was undercover, and she got a little shooken up because she also killed some people. Mike tried to like calm her down. Back at the police station, Captain Howard was kind of like really pissed off and furious, man. Like he was trying his best like not to lose his crap, but pretty much like again, they left like a crap ton of destruction during their whole little chase scene and everything else. And Captain Howard told him to like hurry up and like finish this like now, because this really needed to be handled quick. Time to speed up. The bad boys visit their Haitian informant. The Haitian informant told them to find that blonde dread Haitian. They had to like go to his house. Pretty much they shot up the place, and they found like a camera that had like a footage of the Haitians stalking like some funeral home that the Cubans own. And there was like a little side plot with Marcus's daughter going on a date. They were scaring the boyfriend a little bit. They found out about like where Johnny lives at, and pretty much like pretend to be exterminators to plant bugs all over the place, and they've been listening around. Mike and Marcus kind of like brought like a KKK guy out of jail, the guys that they busted, and because like the KKK guy kind of like knew about like what's going on, and they found out that the funeral home is a front for them to like smuggle like drugs, money, like out of the country. Johnny found out that like she's a spy this whole time, and she got captured, and they were like on their way to Cuba, and they only had 2 days to get her. So the bad boys and like some of the rest of the police guys kind of like went to like Cuba to rescue her, and they managed to rescue her, kill Johnny, and that was the end of the movie. The bad boys have been at it for 25 years now. Mike and Marcus have been driving all over Miami to like get to like the hospital because Marcus's daughter Megan is about to have a baby, and he didn't want to be late, but they made it to the hospital, and she already gave birth already. She named her baby after him. And her baby daddy is Reggie. you know, the boyfriend from the last movie, and Reggie's in the Marines now. Marcus was like very happy, man. When he held that baby, he was crying with joy and happiness. In a Mexican prison, we are introduced to Isabel Aretas. Isabel Aretas was, well, a wife of a crime boss that Mike kind of killed, or I guess the police kind of killed, and she kind of wanted revenge on Mike. She was like planning an escape. She was planning to like kill a guard, take their uniform, and get like some inmates to stab her as well, forcing like the police to like take her to like the hospital. They loaded her up in the ambulance truck and pretty much got her out of there. Then her son showed up, Armando. Armando is like this little assassin dude, and again her son. He pretty much like killed all the guards and pretty much took his mom. They managed to make their way to Mexico City, and the mom kind of like was a smash and urn, which contains like his dad's ashes, and like show him a flash drive. On the flash drive, it had like coordinates to like where his dad kind of like stashed like all the drug money they had like into like the Miami waters, and also she also gave him like a hit list on like all the people that she wanted to kill, and Mike was on that list. But she told Armando that she only want him to die last. Armando is in Miami and pretty much like got like some thugs to like pretty much dig up the money and like hand it over to like one of the goons, and like one of the goons like try to like screw him over, but Armando like sliced his throat open and killed a bunch of other dudes, and he said, you know what, I'm gonna take over this thing. So he kind of did that. Meanwhile, at the bar, Marcus and Mike were kind of like talking about like retiring, and like Mike is not really having that. He was like, no, I want to keep like running criminals until I'm 100 years old. And well, the Marcus always keep telling him, hey, I mean, it's not about like being old and everything else. He realized that family is really important right now, and like he wanted to see like his grandbaby, and he wanted to see his grandbaby grow up. Then we got introduced to Rita. Rita's kind of like Mike's ex-girlfriend, kind of. And kind of like has this team called Ammo. Basically like a new, like, I don't know, I guess a little new, I guess Miami police team that kind of like deal with new like weaponry and tactics. Then Mike and Marcus kind of like had a little conversation about like Mike's love life. Like, how come he's not married? He should have kids and all that stuff. Later, Mike and Marcus are outside. They pretty much decided to like run to make a little race, and they kind of made a bet on that race. If Mike wins, like they become bad boys till the day they die, and if Marcus wins, they retire. No more bad boy stuff ever again. Then the race begins. Mike was winning. Armando was riding his motorcycle, driving by, shooting like a P90, and he was shooting it at Mike, and he got shot. Marcus was really like trying to like pray, like Marcus is praying to God, saying, God, please let Mike live. He didn't have no wife, he didn't have a kid. If you find it in your heart to give him a second chance, I will like stay away from this life. Howard and Ammo and Rita, they were like all like trying to like figure out who shot Mike, and like they've been like on the investigation. His mom kind of like found out about like Armando shooting Mike. Armando kind of like went on a killing spree, killed like everyone else off the list. It's been 6 months since Mike's been shot and kind of put into a coma, and we are at Megan's wedding. She's getting married to Reggie, and it's a very emotional moment. Cam Howard was there, Mike was there. Mike tried to like convince Howard to like put him back on the case, but like Howard's like, no, I am not putting you on the case. He kind of found out about like Marcus quitting because, well, it was supposed to be for Bad Boys for Life, but Mike actually died. Mike is like trying to convince Marcus to like get back in the game. Like, are you really gonna let someone just shoot me and just up and get away with it? And Marcus like, how dare you, dude? I sat by your side. You need to get back with Rita or something. Like, you can have a future, a life away from this. But Mike is like determined to like figure out like who killed him and why. And Marcus is like, no, leave me out. Trying to speed things up. Okay, pretty much like Mike is on warpath. Mike kind of like busted a butcher's hand that used to be like this ex-drug dealer. Kind of like told Captain Howard like where the P90 round kind of came from with a little stakeout. It kind of went south. Like a bunch of shooting happened. Marcus got a call from like one of the snitches that Mike and Marcus kind of like use all the time to like get information from. Armando was after like the snitch, so pretty much Mike and Marcus had to went over there, but it was too late. He was already dead. Mike was getting his butt whooped. Captain Howard kind of got killed. Eventually Mike found out that Armando is his son, and like this was like all revenge for his mom to like kill him. They meet up like in Mexico, and pretty much like epic shootout. Armando found out about the truth. The mom shot Armando, but she was trying to kill Mike, and Rita ended up killing her. It all ended up with the rest of the gang celebrating, having a barbecue. Rita is captain of the police, and that was the end of the whole movie. Bad boys, What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? Okay, the Bad Boys franchise gotta be like the most epic and most really cool like franchise that ever existed. Well, not the greatest, but I would say like one of the top greatest of like action movies from the 90s and 2000s and still now because well the third Bad Boys movie like came out like what was it 4 years ago? Yeah, it has been 4 years already because well, the third Bad Boy movie came somewhere in January, man. Bro, I'm telling you, the casting is good, man. I just can't imagine that like anyone else playing like Marcus and Mike. I can't imagine anyone else like taking on the role of Mike or Marcus because like bro, I swear like the acting was really good. The songs were pretty good. I mean, besides the Bad Boy songs, like bro, it screamed the 90s, man. I'm telling you, when you think about 90s action movies, you gotta be thinking about Bad Boys, man. That gotta be like the top movies ever. And given the fact that it was written by Michael Bay, and Michael Bay did like wrote like I think like all the way up to like I think The Last Night. Wait, no, not The Last Night. No. I think it was like The Dark Side of the Moon, like the first three Transformer movies. They kind of like left the Transformer thing. And I gotta admit, the plot of like the second movie, the second Bad Boys movie, that was pretty brilliant for like the cartel guys or the Cuban mafia dudes to basically like hide like the drugs and the money into like dead bodies though. That actually would make sense because how likely is anyone gonna think that someone smuggling drugs through dead bodies? I mean, no one's not really gonna figure that out. I gotta admit, that was a really smart move. The 90s, man, the 90s, bro. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence were really at their peak back then, man. I mean, what was it? The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Let's see, Independence Day. Let's see, what else was Martin? I don't think let's see, Martin. Okay, I need to do like a commentary on Martin. Maybe I'll do that one day. It depends on like how many likes I get for this video. Going to the third movie, man. Okay, I gotta admit, like the part where Armando was his son. Now that was pretty good though. That was pretty good. And I'm not gonna lie though, I'm not lying. And guys, don't judge me, okay? We were all thinking it. The actress that played Rita, damn, she fine. Damn. But I'm glad that the whole Will Smith, bro, in case you guys probably don't remember, okay, let's be honest, everyone still remember, what was it, the Oscar slap that Will Smith did? I'm glad that they did not kick him out of the role for Bad Boys 4. I mean, like, bro, you cannot have the Bad Boys franchise without Will Smith, man. I mean, if you take him out of the whole picture, I mean, it's ruined. I mean, honestly, at first when I first heard about the Oscar slap, I honestly thought it was a hoax because keep in mind, there are a bunch of actors here. We thought the whole thing was fake. I honestly did think it was fake because hello, they're actors and don't they like do crazy publicity stunts and all that stuff? That's how I honestly felt about the Oscar slap situation. And honestly, they were kind of right for like taking back like the Oscar-winning award from Will Smith in the first place because he kind of like did lost his temper, man. Like, bro, the whole internet was clowning him, man. But again, I'm thanking God that he finally that Hollywood still let him be like Mike Lowry for the fourth movie because hey, you just cannot have the Bad Boys movie without it though. And I gotta admit though, I mean like, what was it, from the second movie to the third, it's been like, what was it, almost 20 something years since like the last movie. I'm just saying like there's like a lot to like unpack. Oh, by the way, I caught like a bunch of Easter eggs a little bit. One Easter egg I caught from like the third movie was the jersey that Marcus was wearing in the second movie. He kind of had that hanged up in the wall. That was like a really good Easter egg and good reference though. And also, the third movie would explain like where did like Mike learn Spanish from the second movie. Because if you guys don't remember, he was speaking Spanish a little bit from the second movie. And that was a little bit of a surprise. I mean, I did not realize it then, but I realize it now. But at least that gives us a little explanation of how he speaks Spanish and all that stuff. That kind of will explain everything. Okay, I gotta admit, the scene where Mike got shot and like everyone's like freaking out and kind of like screaming, Mike, wake up, man, get up. Bro, I'm telling you, man, that scene got me into tears. Well, I mean, alright, time for me to get a little personal. A couple months before like the release of the movie, the third movie, a friend of mine has passed away, and I was still feeling a little shock, a little sad after that because he passed away. I mean, I've known the dude since I was like a little kid. Heck, let's be honest, we're practically brothers at that point. But how he died, his heart gave out on him. That's all well, to put it simply anyway. But yeah, it did remind me of like how life is really short and you really need to make sure that you spend a good amount of time with your friends, your family, And no, that's what I liked about that scene. Like, was it the whole premise of the third movie? It's all about family and making sure that that's number one for everybody, man. Honestly though, Marcus should just like say, no, I'm not shutting up. Bro, Mike, you really need to sit your butt down, man. Like, seriously, I sat by your bedside this whole time. You need to get back with Rita. I mean, honestly though, they keep dropping hints that there was gonna be a thing again, but it didn't end up that way. Honestly, I was a little mad. Like, seriously, it kind of did piss me off because honestly, I felt like the same like reaction when Finn and Rey didn't end up together, like in the from the third like new Star Wars movies. I honestly was a little mad because they keep hinting at those two being a thing this whole time, and it didn't end up that way. Like, what the heck? What's the point of like writing all that flirtatious dialogue in the whole thing if they're not gonna be together, man? And I gotta admit, the jokes from the Bad Boys movies are like timeless, man. They're classic and quotable. Okay, I couldn't remember. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember much from like the Bad Boys movies because I had to like rewatch all three of them. But yeah, the Bad Boys franchise gotta be like one of the best ones. And I heard that that Gabrielle Union is like stars in like a spin-off of the whole thing in like some sort of TV show. I think it's LAPD Finest. I think it kind of does take place in the universe of the Bad Boys movies. I'll probably check it out if I do got time though. Alright, time for me to rate this. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give all three Bad Boys movies a rating of 10, man. They were all perfect though. They were all perfect in my opinion, man. The writing was good. The storylines are perfect. Long live Bad Boys. Alright, your boy gotta go. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, check me on DNR. The link to everything is down below. Bad Boys 4, Ride or Die, Gary Neck. M3 Board, out.